Well, good morning. It's Thursday, the 26th of April, and this is James Ross. In the headlines, First Republic Bank's shares hit a record low overnight after a report said the US government would not rescue the bank. Profits at Standard Chartered jumped 21% in Q1, beating expectations. The UK is to block Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of game maker Activision. That as Tencent says it will ramp up its overseas gaming investments. Boeing says it plans to ramp up production of its 737 MAX aircraft. Hong Kong is considering BYD's Sky Shuttle Rail Transit to ease traffic congestion in Kowloon East. Hong Kong property prices have risen for the third consecutive month, and foreign companies with a primary listing status here may qualify to become blue chips on the Hang Seng Index under a new proposal. 7 minutes to 9. This is Money Talk with James Ross. Time to take our view from mainland China. And we're joined on the line by Shanghai-based economist Andy Ji. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, James.
Nice to have you on the show. We were talking a little bit earlier on about a recovery or not on the mainland. From your position in Shanghai, do you see there is recovery? Is it moving? Is it starting?
Obviously, people now can go to restaurant and go to office. So there has to be some sort of recovery, right? So it's a normalization of economic activities. So there is an economic recovery going on. So I wrote at the beginning of the year, probably it's going to be between 5 to 6%, and that is very moderate considering how weak the economy was during 3 years of the pandemic.
But nevertheless, Bloomberg reporting that the rout has paused, but only after a $446 billion wipeout in value for mainland shares in the last month. That's quite a punch.
Well, the economy is not is moderate, meaning that it's still weak because we need to consider the base. The missing growth from the last 3 years is probably 8 to 9%. So and we have potential growth of about 4 to 5%. So you're talking about the base of 12, 13%, sort of like that. So compared to that, it's very weak. So that's why companies are not saying that their businesses are good. So that's what's going on.
So what about tech? I mean, that's been and probably will continue to be a big focus on the mainland. Technology companies, how are they doing?
Yeah, I think that now Chinese government is not focusing on growth. And growth, because it's not so important. It's really what's important is technology. The U.S. is tightening its grip on the technology supplies to China more and more every day. So the government, as well as businesses, are racing to develop a domestic substitutes. So that is going on. There's a tremendous speed. And in the last 3 years, the economy was stagnant, but the factories have really upgraded to 5G AI-assisted production. So Chinese factories are basically the most advanced in the world now. So we are also seeing in precision equipment and in semiconductor manufacturing, things are happening in all fronts. And China has the scale to do everything at the same time.
U.S. companies, though, are increasingly pessimistic about the relationship between Washington and Beijing as the sort of geopolitical tensions continue to escalate. In the latest survey, 87% of respondents in an AmCham survey say they were at least slightly pessimistic about U.S.-China ties. That doesn't sound too good, does it?
Yeah, well, I think that the relationship will become worse. It's some politicians trying to stabilize it, but I do not see the trend will change. I think that there are a lot of issues. American politicians talking about a value difference, but the more important is really the size. China is becoming bigger. There's a power struggle going on. So this is inevitable. So China has to go all out to develop substitutes, basically to develop the whole technology supply chain inside China. So that is kind of a waste of resources from the world perspective. But that has to happen for China itself.
Turning to tourism just very quickly before we end, Andy, more than half of Chinese travellers say they haven't set any plans to go abroad this year, with 31% saying no to international travel altogether. Apparently fear about safety outside of China is now the top factor in considering a trip. Tourism, how's that going to go, do you think? Is it going to build back up?
Well, I think Chinese tourists used to just enjoying going out and enjoying shopping, buying luxury goods. I think that attitude has clearly changed. Now it's much more about having a good time, being able to relax. So they're basically bypassing high cost places like Hong Kong. Or unfriendly places where people are hostile to Chinese. So they're going to where their money is welcome, like Thailand, like Malaysia, and things are cheap, people are friendly. So this seems to be the case right now.
Well, we'll watch it with interest. Andy Ji is Shanghai-based economist. Andy, thanks very much for joining us on Money Talk this morning. This is James Ross. This is Money Talk.